Hi everyone, I'm Priyanka. I'm the Senior Academic Advisor at Crimson Education India. Today I have here with me Kunal Mehra, resident admissions expert who has mentored over 1,000 students across the last 2 decades. He's here with us today to answer some of the most essential questions parents and students grapple with on their journey to college admissions. So today's question is, now that a lot of colleges are test optional, should one still take the SAT or the ACT?
Right. Great question. So, um, firstly, a lot of this depends on how good a test taker you are. In an ideal scenario, if you are good at testing and you can do well on the SAT or the ACT, which you can figure out if you write a few mock tests or a diagnostic test, then my recommendation is that one should take the SAT. We're seeing a lot of colleges which were test optional previously, now moving back to making the test mandatory. Brown announced it a while ago, Dartmouth recently, Yale as well, which means there is now a sort of a direction that or a pattern that I'm seeing with a few schools, and I'm guessing this will extend to other schools as well. Um, Even if a school is test optional, let's say Harvard or Princeton or many other schools which continue to be test optional, having a good test score only adds more weight to your application, right? Now, one must understand that for a test optional school, if your score is not that great, it's best to drop it and maybe apply without reporting that score. But for a school which is test mandatory, you cannot apply without a test score. So by not taking the test, you're limiting the kind of schools or the kind of colleges you can apply to. Um, I know a lot of students have a bit of a fear with these tests. Some of it is just fear. So I would say first take the diagnostic and give yourself a few months to prepare and take the SAT, right? You always have the chance, the opportunity not to report that score. Um, but in an ideal scenario, I would say if you can, work hard and do, take the test. You can write the test multiple number of times, though I don't recommend going beyond 2 to 3 attempts at best. And yeah, so I think that would be my advice to students who are thinking about whether to go test optional or not.
Yeah, I think it gives admissions officers another data point to sort of have and be able to challenge
Absolutely.
against others.
And look, the admission officers have been reading files pre-COVID, before the test became optional, and they have a certain way in which they look at applicants. And now more and more schools have started to believe that the SAT or the ACT does provide an important data point on a child's academic sort of rigor and their competence. So knowing a student has done well on the SAT only adds more sort of comfort to that admission officer when they're looking at the application.